things people talk about desirable success, all of the elements.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. I hope that everybody is off to a good start. Look, I'm not going to be long before you hear. I just want to tell you about something that I'm immensely passionate about and that is extremely important to the future of the organization and I believe to the future of the black community. For years, you have heard me write about young black men and the Black Men Lead Rite of Passage. You've heard me and my wife talk about Restoring Ghetto's Forgotten Daughters. You probably read her book of Ghetto's Forgotten Daughters. What we are planning right now is a 15-city tour where my wife and I are going to travel to cities. Right now we have, I believe, 12 cities already selected based on need and strategic geographical positioning. That's Memphis, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Charlotte, Chicago, St. Louis, Miami, Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Detroit. We still have at least 4 more that we're going to add to this list, and if necessary, we'll increase the list based on need and demand. But let me explain to you what this tour is about. This isn't a lecture series. I'm not traveling around lecturing about something. I've written about it. I've spoken about it. I've done literally thousands of videos. I've written even more articles. I've written over 1,000 academic articles on the plight of blacks. I've written 21 books. Born in Captivity is the most recent and most comprehensive on the struggle of black people. So I've established the need. I've established suggestive solutions. I've established primary processes. I've shown you how the proper socialization of black males reduces the proclivity to violence, produces criminality, produces the risk of becoming incarcerated, and on, and how that plays a role in the total health, social health of the black community. Well, what I'm doing is something that I've been wanting to do for more than 10 years, and that's to travel to certain cities and help them set up these programs. So this isn't a lecture series. This is where I'm going to literally be traveling to these cities and working with the people in the community for anywhere from 7 to 10 days to implement these programs, to create a network to where they're not only exposed to the program, but they're connected back to the headquarters, which is the Odyssey project, but also systematically connected to each added part. So every time I go to a city, I'm not just connecting them back to Houston where I'm at, I'm connecting them to the last city I went to and the ones before that and the ones behind them. It's going to be so important. The reason I'm in front of you right now is I don't want the financial burden of me traveling to be on the people that I'm going to serve. I don't want to charge a fee to get me somewhere. I want to be able to go. But at the same time, I can no longer keep drafting from the cupboard of my home to support this passion. So I'm asking you guys to support me. Right now, all I'm asking for is the initial upfront of 10 grand to be raised. Once we hit the 10 grand mark, I'm going to book the first 2 cities. And then we're going to keep moving from that point on, building momentum and setting up assets in these cities. Again, we're starting with Memphis, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Charlotte, Chicago, St. Louis, Miami, Los Angeles, New Orleans, and Detroit. If you know of a city that has a major issue with poverty in the black community, poor education in the black community, poor political access, affluency, and impact, all of these things, a big issue with young black males being alienated in the academic system, in the school system, high arrest rates, all of that stuff, contact me and put your city on the list, and we're going to work from there. I'm working with some people to make the right choices, to go to the right places, but I want everybody's input. But what I need you to do is actually get behind this movement and show. My question has been behind what has transpired with all of the deaths. And I live in Houston, and it's sort of ironic that my last church home, the church that I still have some connections to, is where they did the services for George Floyd yesterday, the Fountain of Praise. I've been associated with that church since 1996. And so, with that done now, with him having been laid to rest, the question is simply this: what next? I've been asked that question so many times in the last week. What next? We've got this energy. We've got this force. We've got people saying, oh my God, I didn't realize. You've got white people that are doing their thing and everything like that. So what next? The thing is, you can't allow your work and your drive to be connected to your emotions, because eventually you're just going to stop being angry. And then we've become so used to being angry at a certain level because we live in a place that just makes us consistently frustrated and angry, that we can operate with a high tolerance of emotional frustration and instability. So we got to be careful. We got to be driven by something greater. We got to be driven by a need and a responsibility to be proactively engaged. And so that's what this is about. This is about saying, okay, here's the step. We need to be actively engaged in properly socializing our young black males. It reduces their proclivity to violence. It reduces their proclivity to criminal behavior. It reduces their proclivity to drop out of school, which increases their risk for incarceration, which ultimately reduces their chances of going to prison in the first place. So, and that's just on that. We're dealing with restoring ghettos, forgotten daughters. We're talking about dealing with adverse childhood experiences, including childhood sexual abuse. We're talking about Music is Life. Music is Life is a program that is designed to teach every black child how to play at least one instrument and how to read music. Even if that's not going to be their career, it increases their creativity, it increases their self-confidence, it increases their ability to express themselves, and takes away the feeling of powerlessness. So those are just some of the things we're going to be doing, but we're going to travel around to each city. And I want to be able to sit up and go to these cities, give them everything I've got without putting a price tag on it. But we all know it has a price tag. I'm asking you to help me get this done. On that note, I'm going to get off of here. Hopefully we can get this moving and booked and have the first trip behind us by July, or at least during July. On that note, I'm going to check out of here. Go to the description box in this video, and there's going to be a link that you can go to give. You can give through our Cash app. There are several ways that you can give, and whatever way works for you is fine, but we need your support. I will keep you updated as we move forward, how we're going in the progress, and when the first trip is booked. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day. Hello everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in with a little special announcement. For those who have followed me for any stretch of time, you know, outside of the businesses that I run, like Myriad Business Solutions, the Visionetics Institute, Odyssey Media Group, I also do a great deal of work inside of the inner city communities in Houston, Dallas, and other areas. I'm asking now, as we push a fundraiser, that you support what the Odyssey Project is doing in the inner cities, especially with programs like Black Men Lead, which is a rite of passage initiative, and Restoring Ghettos, Forgotten Daughters, which is a program focused on helping young girls, but boys as well, suffering from childhood sexual abuse, rape, molestation, domestic abuse, absentee fatherhood, and so many other things. The information will be in the box. Thank you.
From a conceptual perspective, things people talk about it as success. All of the elements